Hey guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. We hope that you are doing well and enjoying our informative videos. This time again, we bring you an interesting video where we will be telling you about the two intelligence organizations that you have seen countless times in your favorite movies and TV shows. Yes, we are talking about FBI and CIA. You know what they are, but do you really know what they are? We will tell you all the details and differences, so let's begin. The FBI and CIA are intelligence agencies that come under the umbrella of the United States intelligence community. The FBI stands for Federal Bureau of Investigation and is linked with the national government of the U.S. It comes under the Department of Justice and is not related to the military, which is a common misconception. The responsibility of the FBI is to investigate certain criminal activities that are assigned to the agency and to cooperate with other intelligence agencies to ensure law enforcement. Some common services include fingerprint identification, laboratory examinations, and general testing. The agency is also responsible to gather, share, and examine intelligence for two purposes. First, to support personal investigations, and second, to assist other intelligence agencies with their investigations with a united aim to comprehend and face national security threats. It emphasizes on the data and intelligence overseas, which is significant to the policies in the United States. CIA, or the Central Intelligence Agency, is a principal foreign intelligence and counterintelligence agency of the United States. The agency branched out from the World War II Office of Strategic Services, otherwise known as OSS. Among all the federal law enforcement agencies, the FBI holds the broadest authority. It has split up its investigations into a few different departments like domestic and international terrorism, foreign counterintelligence, cybercrime, public corruption, civil rights, organized crime and drugs, white-collar crime, crimes of violence, and offensive majors. The investigation philosophy of the FBI focuses on their internal network and sharing of information with other law enforcement and intelligence agencies that function on federal, state, local, or international levels. Most FBI investigations are conducted jointly with another law enforcement agency or as a joint task force investigation. Now that you know their basic functions, let's dig deep into their histories. The history of FBI and CIA. The Justice Department lacked an organized task force to investigate and gather evidence up till 1908. It had to rely on the detectives from the Secret Service and other private detectives. Charles Bonaparte, the Attorney General at that time, was the first to point out the problem with using the services of these detectives. Soon, he presented a short memo on 26 July that describes a regular force of special agents who will be responsible to investigate certain criminal activities and cases of the Justice Department. This memo officially was the inception of the FBI. On the other hand, the CIA was founded much later in the year 1947. In the previous year, the administration officials had decided to shift the duties and responsibilities of the Special Security Unit, and for that, they made an agency called as Central Intelligence Group. However, the agency was constrained by the State Department and the Armed Services. President Truman at the time, just after World War II had ended, had a realization that there is a need for a new, full-functioning intelligence agency. So he signed the National Security Act and his CIA came into being. Mission of the FBI. The FBI has creatively made their motto using its acronym, which says Fidelity, Bravery, Integrity. Its employees are classified, and it is believed that they have over 13,000 agents, 3,000 intelligence analysts, and more than 20,000 staff workers. The FBI is headquartered in the J. Edgar Hoover Building in Washington and works with an annual budget of approximately $10 billion. The functions that are prioritized at the FBI are to protect the United States from acts of terrorism, protect the United States from foreign intelligence operations and espionage, protect from cyber crimes, protect from high technology crimes, and handle public corruption of all kinds. Its parent agency is the Department of Justice and Office of the Director of National Intelligence. As a threat-based national security agency that is driven on the basis of intelligence, it works with the mission to protect and defend the United States of America, to uphold and enforce the criminal laws in the states, and to provide leadership and criminal justice services to federal, state, municipal, and international agencies and partners. It is primarily a law enforcement agency that collects intelligence related to domestic security and also investigates federal crimes that include kidnapping, tax evasion, and securities fraud. You can call them the National Police Department, as their role is majorly reactive by nature. On the contrary, CIA spies also work in foreign countries to defend and combat security threats from materializing. Mission of CIA. The motto of the CIA is, "Ye shall know the truth and it shall set you free." The employees of the CIA are classified, and it is estimated that there are more than 25,000 agents and 35,000 internal staff that work with the agency. The CIA is headquartered in Langley, Virginia, with an annual budget of approximately $20 million. The primary mission of the CIA is to gather, examine, and disseminate foreign intelligence to help the president and the policymakers in decision-making related to national security. The CIA itself cannot make policy. It works as an independent source of foreign intelligence information for the policymakers. The CIA is also allowed to take part in covert action if the president directs, and if it is in accordance with the laws that can be applied. The CIA also extends its intelligence services to countries like Iraq and Afghanistan. The agency is also famous for claims that it orchestrated coups in nations with rulers, often dictators, that were hostile to the United States, and even for the killings of such leaders. Fidel Castro, for instance, is from Cuba. Interesting facts about FBI and CIA. Let's get into some interesting facts about both these agencies, the FBI and CIA. Did you know that the FBI had one of the longest-serving directors of all time? J. Edgar Hoover became the director of the FBI at the young age of 29 in 1924 and remained head of the agency for 48 years. And he didn't voluntarily leave the position either. No, he only left the job because he passed away. Another interesting and maybe strange fact is that the FBI once spent 2 years investigating a song. During the 1960s, analysts at the FBI's high-tech laboratory spent more than 2 years investigating the lyrics of the Kingsmen's hit pop song Louie Louie. The song was intentionally recorded with terrible quality and the lyrics were not understandable. Still, many parents complained to the government that the song was promoting bad content. Thus, the FBI responded by putting different versions of the song through rigorous audio tests and producing a 120-page report that concluded it was unintelligible at any speed. Hilarious, right? The FBI also has its own lingo, which means that they use specific language to communicate. The agents have invented different code words to make their communication shorter, but also difficult to understand by people who might be spying on them. However, there's a few phrases we know the meaning of, like brick agents, which refers to the investigators who work the streets, and unsub, which is an unknown subject. If you watch Criminal Minds, you know this one very well. Others include Bukars, which are the vehicles used by the agency, and Betty Bureau, which refers to a female support employee who has worked at the FBI for her entire career. Moving on to the CIA, which has facts that are interesting but in a different, shadier way. Starting off, did you know the CIA reads up to 5 million tweets per day? Yep, and the agency might be monitoring your Facebook feed too. They apparently do this to stay up to date on the public's reactions to world events. They might even be surveilling you through TVs, iPhones, Androids, and computers. The CIA also has a secret museum that no one is allowed inside. It is located at the CIA headquarters in Langley, Virginia, and the 11,000 square foot museum contains fascinating yet failed projects that you would only hear about in spy stories, like dragonfly drones, robotic fish, and pigeon-mounted cameras. Insane, right? Another fact that's almost funny is that the CIA headquarters has its own Starbucks. Bet you didn't know that. The store is known as Store Number 1 and only has 9 employees, all of which go through extensive background checks before being allowed to work there. For added security, the baristas aren't allowed to ask the agents their names or write them down on their cups. Instead, the employees simply have to remember the faces of the agents that ordered each drink. Even the CIA statutes are cryptic. In the 1990s, an encrypted sculpture called Kryptos was installed on the grounds of the CIA headquarters. And after nearly 30 years have passed and no one has fully cracked the code. Lastly, the CIA also secretly produces movies on the side. The CIA secretly bought the rights to 1984 and Animal Farm after author George Orwell's death in 1950, later funding the film adaptations of the two dystopian novels. It's interesting how both these novels discuss the corruption of government agencies that spy on people and try to control them. Super sinister stuff. And that does it for our video today. We hope it was really interesting and informative. If you learned something new today, then comment down below what it was and also give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more cool videos like these. And also hit the notification bell icon so you never miss our new content. Till then, goodbye and see you later, Secret Agents.